Hi guys, time for another pick a card reading. The topic for this reading is going to be, what is the person on your mind thinking about you since your latest interaction with one another? There are three groups to choose from. Group one is the red glass heart. Group two is the Lapis Lazuli heart. And group three is the Fluorite heart. Up next is a photo of these crystals to help you better make your selection. There are timestamps in the description box below if you want to jump ahead, and I will see everyone in a minute for group one. Hi, group one. You chose the red glass heart. So let's take a look and see what the person on your mind is thinking about since your last interaction with one another. We've got the Eight of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so it feels like this person is looking at you as somebody who stands in this perfect and beautiful combination of strength and softness. You carry yourself with a level of confidence and self-assuredness that is very rare in this day and age because it goes deeper than just surface level. This is somebody that can tell, like, you're not faking your confidence, like it's real within. But you are also somebody who is very approachable. Your energy is like very warm and inviting. You're somebody that is like a burst of sunshine in the midst of just an ordinary circumstance. When this person last saw you, it feels like the doors of their heart just sprung open without meaning to. It's almost like their heart sort of leapt forward towards you. There was this huge inclination to like run towards you, get really up close and personal. If this is someone you were like physically kind of at a distance from, like standing across the room from this person, this is somebody that had to exercise a lot of self-restraint not to kind of like rush over towards you. This is somebody who it feels like is now sort of thinking about ways in order to move beyond any hangups that they have, anything as far as doubt or like a worthiness wound. Because at one point in time, they may have been very intimidated by your presence, but now they're seeing that you are wish fulfillment and then some. You're that perfect package, this energy of empowerment, this light that you radiate with, like from the inside out. This is something it feels like that this person has been like searching for their whole life. It's like this Eight of Cups is sort of like, my search for love is over. I have found who it is that I'm looking for. I don't need to look anywhere else. They just like need to find a way to kind of come towards you, have more experiences with you. It may even just be something, if you're dating, if you're talking, if you're like, getting to know one another, then this is somebody at this point in time that it feels like they're looking at. Now the biggest challenge is sort of just remaining very present in the moment, allowing things to unfold naturally, being aware of like where you are in your connection at this point, but also recognizing that after this latest interaction with you, after the last time that they saw you, it's like any sort of doubt, lingering doubt, which might have existed within, that's completely gone. This is somebody who's absolutely certain that whatever it takes, whatever the challenges are, they're rising to that occasion. This is somebody that feels so compelled to stand beside you, not just in a platonic capacity. This is somebody who doesn't just want to like hang around in the friend zone. It's like they want to be your friend, but they want to be so much more than that. And this is somebody that is now thinking that to have you on their arm, to have you by their side, to be your significant other, that is something that which would make them like very proud. Like they're very proud of the way that you carry yourself. You carry yourself as somebody who is very proud and yet humble. You don't give off this energy of someone who thinks they're better than anyone, but there's this sense of like you've this person can tell like you've gone through some kind of process to come to know who you really are and to embrace that. Even if it wasn't easy, even if it's something that like others might not necessarily understand who you are, others might not be radiating in that kind of like similar vibration, have that same mindset, that same kind of approach to life. It's almost like this person sees that you're someone that lives life to the fullest each day, whether that's days you get a whole lot done or days where you're just embracing, quiet moments and stillness. And that this is something that whatever your process is for self-care, for self-love, for making the most of kind of your circumstances, or working towards like greater opportunities to seize those for yourself, or to claim those blessings, that you give off this light of truth within that very unquestionably now at this particular point in time, this individual's like very certain, you are the person that I want to build a life with. You are the person that I want to hold very close to me. You are the person that eclipses all other concepts of love that I had before. Because this is somebody that sees that to move forward with you, to build, develop, to get to that 10 of Cups energy. Because again, this is somebody that's like, my search for love is over. This is somebody that is absolutely certain. Like, it doesn't feel like they were entertaining other options before, but this is somebody that like absolutely they're not going anywhere. They're not looking for, the nearest exit to kind of like slip out of your life in some sort of way. The energy of kind of like being alert for potential connection, or being receptive to love arriving when the time is right. It's like that storyline has now closed for this person, and they've come into this place within themselves of like, I want to be with you, I want you to be with me, not just because you look good on the surface, but because there is this essence that shines so brightly within you that is like the thing this person has been seeking their whole life, but it's been very hard to define. It's been very difficult, if not impossible, to like truly experience this within other romantic partners they've had, or like options that they've had in the past. You're somebody who exists on a level above all of that. And the reason that this person like feels that way about you is because you've got this light inside of you that is so warm. It's like you're so easy to be around. You're so easy to talk to. You're so easy to relate to. And yet you've got these like high standards. Like you truly are somebody that it feels like this person recognizes, like you know who you are. You love yourself. You accept yourself. You are the best version of yourself in the here and now. And that is something which it feels like your latest interaction has helped this person to move even closer to that understanding, or that reality that you are the love that they are seeking. This is somebody that, with this Queen of Pentacles, it almost feels like this is somebody that is now drifting in the direction of, could you be the love of my life? Like the love that eclipses all other loves. Like it's that open of an experience emotionally for them. And then relatively speaking to where you are presently, like materially in your connection with one another, it feels like this is somebody that has like not even like renewed enthusiasm, because it feels like they were very enthusiastic, very hopeful about this connection before, but now they're determined. They're determined to make this work. They're determined to kind of like do whatever they need to do in order to make you feel supported, seen, appreciated, embraced, honored, cherished, respected, adored. Not because they're trying to like win a place in your life, or earn your favor in some sort of way, but it's almost like You've opened this inclination within this person to give of themselves totally to you and to receive you totally as well. So let's get some messages from their higher self and see what they want you to know. Okay, yeah, we got, I've never been more motivated. Get ready for me. Yeah, so that Eight of Cups, it's like the search is over. My search for love is over. I don't need to keep repeating that mantra of like, love will find me when it's time. The right person, the right thing won't pass you by. Feels like this is somebody that had like for a while sort of like used affirmations, had been like telling themselves like, okay, if it's meant to be, if I'm meant to experience love again in my life, or love that is, kind of matches what it is I bring to the table, like I'll be proactive in sort of like seeking that out, but I'll also be receptive to, whenever sort of the divine chooses to align me with something, I'm open, I'm ready for that. And this latest interaction with this person, it's like they don't need to keep telling themselves that anymore. It's like it's you. You're that person. So this is definitely somebody that feels like that is ready to, kind of lean in closer to this. Take some sort of action steps that let you know how much they see you as a person, not just see the surface, but the core essence of who you are. That is something that became very, very clear to this person in your latest interaction. Like this is somebody that feels like that they're very motivated because it's the idea of like developing the connection feels safe. Giving their heart to you feels safe because you're presenting, or you've presented in this very kind of like self-aware, confident, and yet approachable energy, that this is somebody that feels like I could give my heart to you and it would be in safekeeping. We also have I often sing to you when you're not here. Pay attention to songs that stand out to you. They are a message from me. So your presence is like music to this person. Your energy, your aura, it just sings. It's tuned into the right frequency that it feels like aligns so deeply with what it feels like they've been wanting in terms of an empowered connection. Like this, it feels like this is somebody as well that they had to carry their partner often in past connections. Like people that maybe were, in the process of kind of like lifting themselves up, or maybe just like weren't at that level, weren't kind of like formatted that way in terms of character, in terms of personality, like people that just made a lot of excuses or kind of had like a victim complex. Like the damsel in distress, and as this person came in as a rescuer at different points in time, they never got out of that loop. It was always just this person having to kind of like fix things and do all the heavy lifting and kind of like overgive. But with you, there's a sense of like generosity, effort, their time, their presence, their honesty, different sorts of ways in which they could like give of themselves. There's a sense that it would be given to someone, like given to you, and that would only enhance what it seems that you've kind of created and you sustain for yourself. This person sees you as somebody that doesn't require outside validation in order to kind of be your best self. Like praises, compliments, admiration, attention, like that's all nice. But this person, since your last interaction, has noticed that it's like you're orbiting around an internal light within. And even if there were no one clapping for you, nobody singing your praises, this is somebody that feels like you still would be very self-assured. You'd still be very radiant. You still would be somebody that would be shining very brightly. And that feels to be something that is very intriguing, very reassuring for them. That if there were times where that rescuer had to be activated within them, and it wouldn't just always be that. This is somebody that almost feels like the experience of true reciprocity is possible with you in a way that they've not known before in romance. We also have, we need to heal ourselves for union. We have an important mission to fulfill here. So it feels like conversations with you, even when this person just catches sight of you, when they think about you, there's an energy exchange, and something about that heals them. But it doesn't heal them like your energy itself is the thing that is being the medicine for this person. But your energy is like a light that points the way to something inside of this person that moves beyond a perception of lack, or is able to sort of accentuate their own kind of like wholeness as best as they've been able to sort of create that for themselves in the aftermath of whatever the ups and downs in love and life have been. But this person feels like you're not a missing piece, but the experience of you is something which just enhances who they are, who they've become. And this is somebody that wants to be that for you as well. They see that that's possible, like an empowered sort of love, as opposed to something which just kind of like fills empty spaces. It's almost something which refines that kind of wholeness within. And so the idea of what happens next between the two of you, that is something that it feels like is very healing as well. Because again, this is somebody that feels like that was using like mantras, affirmations, sort of like the right thing won't pass me by. If I'm meant to have love in this life, it'll happen when it's meant to happen. Or, you know, I have to just kind of give over into divine timing. And that was something which was great. It brought them to this point in their story where they are now here with you in this moment. But there's almost a sense of like, it's very healing for them not to have to put their energy into sustaining that belief, carrying themselves along the river of time to this particular moment anymore, along that sort of frequency of remaining optimistic despite experiences in the material world showing them that they would have every reason to shut down their heart, become embittered, close off, be hopeless. So there's almost like a healing that is taking place, or has taken place since this last interaction, or just starting, where this person is like, more of their energy can just be in the moment, because it's like they feel that they've found that kind of place that they were always sort of navigating to, in the form of another person, in the form of you. So let's get some initials. This could be a first, middle, or last name, or could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got N, L, U, U, V, O, G, H, and I. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the Lapis Lazuli hearts. So let's see, what is the person on your mind thinking about you since your last interaction with one another? Okay, we got the Five of Wands, the Five of Cups, and the Two of Swords. Okay, so it feels like this is someone who feels like they really missed out on something good. This is somebody who might have been triggered either by their feelings, or, maybe they were very guarded when you were, kind of in the early stages of connecting with one another. Maybe you were guarded. You've each kind of been through your ups and downs in love and in life. There was a spark, there was a possibility between the two of you. There were steps that were being taken at a certain point in time in order to, explore something further, but then it feels like this person might have kind of reduced the level of effort towards you or took a step back. They could have let defeatist thoughts, like self-sabotage, kind of get in the way of being consistent and like fighting for a place in your life, fighting beyond their fears, in order to kind of remain as a relevant person, or, to kind of like work with you, express their affections, build something. And this, it feels like, is somebody that the last time that they saw you, there almost might be something where they're kind of like, I think this is the last time I'm going to see you. Like, I hope that it's not the last time, but there's almost somebody that knows you have to like go in your opposite directions in some sort of way, because the version of themselves that they are at this particular point in time, or that energy of kind of being maybe even triggered, second guessing words or efforts that you make, and kind of like taking that to a very sort of, chaotic place inside of themselves, that they are seeing that this is kind of like their loss, not your loss. This is somebody that understands that like mixed signals that they've given you, that this has not helped matters. It has not helped the situation at all. It is something which it feels like is now creating challenges or hurdles that will be very difficult for this person to overcome. Like this is somebody that almost like since your last interaction, they're kind of feeling like, I'm going to have a lot of explaining to do, and I don't know precisely how to do that. This is somebody that it feels like the last interaction may have been something very tense between the two of you. This may have been something, where again, they kind of like, they were triggered, they sort of let their fears, or like their lower nature, like a self-sabotaging kind of energy sort of get the better of them. And there's a sense of understanding that they've like disappointed you or let you down in some sort of way, but feeling almost that, again, the loss is on their side of the equation, not yours. This is somebody that hopes that whatever has happened between the two of you in that last interaction is not something which dampens your spirits too much, that you don't take it too personally, that you don't take it to heart. That this is somebody, it feels like, that they regret things that they said or how they showed up. There's a sense of wishing they could take something back, but understanding that the only way to go is forward. That there's no turning back those hands of time. There's no kind of like undoing sort of what was done. And they see that very clearly now. At first, like right after your last interaction, this could have been something that was very agitated, very triggered, very kind of like reading between the lines in like a negative sort of way, or taking the interaction between the two of you and using that as an excuse to kind of just like, oh, forget it, and just like throw in the towel as far as the connection is concerned. As far as like hope or optimism for what the future could hold. Like, it's too much, it's too difficult, we're too incompatible. We don't want the same things. And it feels like that's something that it has highlighted or illustrated for this person, that they've kind of kicked over their own tripod in this situation. They fumbled this. They've created some kind of obstacle or a block now between the two of you. Something that was said, something that was done. They could tell that it's kind of like you took that to heart. You took it very seriously. And maybe this is the nature of kind of like how the presentation happened. You had no choice but to kind of like, take that at face value. And this person feels very challenged because it's almost like something came out wrong. They didn't say something right. They didn't mean something in a particular way. This could have been somebody that, like, again, like overreacted. They know that they sort of like pushed you away. And all of that is kind of stemming, it feels like, from a place of self-sabotage. They recognize that. They understand on some level that you were bringing something very genuine to them, and they responded by pushing that away or creating chaos in what could have been like an opportunity to work together to evolve, like to work through something. And instead they chose distance. Instead, maybe they chose to be somewhat combative about things. And so this is somebody that is now sort of thinking since the last interaction that they have some things they need to work on within themselves. They've got some things that they need to find a way to kind of alchemize or channel into something more constructive. They know that they need to change their tune before they come back towards you. They know that they need to approach you in a different sort of way, because there may be apologies that are owed, explanations. This could even be something where it felt like it was on the brink of a breakthrough between the two of you, and instead they chose to kind of just play it off, play nonchalant. You could have like made some sort of extension towards them, like extended yourself, even just energetically speaking, kind of like, okay, I'm open, I'm waiting, I'm receiving you. And instead of taking steps forward, it's almost like they questioned that within themselves and sort of like pushed you away, gave you coldness, gave you silence and disappointment, as opposed to finding a different way to communicate something. And this is somebody that feels like that they're seeing you as somebody that it's almost like they see how fragile your heart is. Like they don't see you as a weak person, but they see you as somebody that like, they see now that you were very invested and you were very genuine and very real in your interactions with them. Because this energy of like self-sabotage that's come up, it's almost like it's wounded you very deeply. Not that they found like a vulnerability within you and they're now thinking, great, let me use that to my advantage. But this is somebody that feels really bad. Kind of like they didn't mean to sort of wound you in the way that they have. And so it feels like it's something that it's been a lesson to kind of like the authenticity of the gentleness that you are offering to them. This is somebody that also, it feels like they're kind of seeing you as somebody like they've wounded that gentleness. So now what side of you do they get? Because they almost, since the last interaction, perceive like you got your guard up against them. You might have been guarded when you came into this situation with them. They might have been guarded. You let your guard down. You let your walls down. You tried to trust in this situation. And this is somebody that almost feels like they've hurt that trust in some sort of way. And so now those walls are back up. That guard is back up. You're not looking at them with like unconditional trust. That it's sort of like now there are conditions placed upon this. Now there's a sense of kind of like feeling or fearing that you're going to move differently as far as they're concerned. That they've now created some kind of challenge for themselves that wasn't exactly necessary. So let's get some message cards from this person's higher self, see what they want you to know. Okay, we have, with you, I am on cloud 9. You are my heaven on earth. So it feels like this is somebody that was not trusting in the way that things were going like so well between the two of you. This could have been something that was building up, and like the last interaction was just the last straw. Something that this person was kind of like, okay, it feels like, things are progressing. It's, we're getting in deeper with one another. I don't know if I can trust that fully. It's like this person already had trust issues when they started to get to know you, when you first started interacting. And it's almost like things were going so well that they got into this energy of questioning, like, maybe I'm not seeing things right. Maybe this is just a trap. Maybe it's just a trick. Maybe this is just another experience that's going to like break my heart or disappoint me or wound me in some sort of way. So it feels like, again, this is somebody that since the last interaction, they're really feeling like it's them, it's not you. We also have, I love your sensuality, I yearn for your touch. So it feels like this is somebody that maybe wasn't prepared to like get into their feelings. They weren't prepared to catch feelings. They wanted to keep it casual. They wanted to keep it surface level. Maybe they were just looking for like situationship, hookup, taking things kind of like one step at a time. Somebody who has a deep fear of love. Maybe even a deep fear of like being abandoned, and so they don't really like let themselves fall in love anymore. They keep everybody at arm's length, because if nobody gets in close, then nobody's just going to ditch them at some point in time, and then they're kind of left dealing with those feelings. And so the last interaction between the two of you, it feels like in some sort of way they were operating purely from the heart space. This is somebody that was leading with the heart, and that became very troublesome for them, because they almost maybe found themselves on the brink of kind of like saying or doing something that would have catapulted this situation to the next level. And this is somebody that was almost kind of like, had that occurred, then I'd be stuck in this place of like, I've been vulnerable, I've let you in, I've exposed my hand, I've shared with you parts of myself that it's hard for me to get comfortable doing with anybody. And so the reflex was just to push this away, to self-sabotage in some kind of capacity. But this is somebody, it feels like that whatever has kind of like happened in that last interaction, this is somebody that like since that last interaction, they're wanting to like try to find a way to sort of smooth things out between the two of you, but they're not really sure how to do that at this point in time, because there's still a deep desire and a yearning for you. Something that they said, something that they did, or maybe like inaction on their part, it didn't come out right. It didn't translate in all the right ways. And this is not somebody who's just in denial about that. Like they projected something onto you, but now they're in reflective mode. Now they're like, oh wow, okay, what did I do? Now we're in this situation. Okay, how do we fix this? How do we pick this back up? Like, is this something that has just created like a wedge or a distance between the two of us that is insurmountable? Or is this the kind of thing where, can we get over this? Can we move beyond this in some sort of way? Because there's still a lot of desire for you. But it feels like it also kind of piggybacks this energy of sort of like fear. A fear of abandonment, which causes this person to kind of keep other people at arm's length. We also have, I see you in my future. I visualize all the awesome things we'll do together. So this is almost the energy of somebody that like their life flashed before their eyes, only it was kind of like the heart space was wide open and they could see themselves falling in love with you. They could see themselves getting into like a serious long-term connection. They could see themselves, growing old with you, something like that. And it freaked them out and caused them to sort of react, push you away. This may be something where you're like, at this point in your life or in this point in your journey, you're like, yeah, I've dealt with people that self-sabotage, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, not doing it anymore. And for you, this is kind of like that boundary's up. Now that you've seen this, you can't unsee it. And so that changes kind of like maybe this person is now relegated to the friend zone, or you could be somebody that is like, I'm not going on this ride with this person. I've done this with people before and I'm not doing it again. But this is somebody, it feels like that very intensely they were imagining kind of best case scenario, worst case scenario with you all at once. Wounds within that it feels like are very necessary for this person to like recognize, work on, get over, get a handle on in some kind of way. Those were brought to the forefront in your last interaction. And this is someone who's very like consciously aware of that. They're aware that they're the one that has now kind of created this chaos. They're aware that if there's more to the story beyond that last interaction, then it's like they're going to have to be the one to kind of bring something, bring apologies, bring some change behavior, bring some sort of self-awareness or mindfulness to the table. Because otherwise, it's like it can't, like there's a threshold now. The only way that can be crossed is into the territory of like, yeah, things have to kind of go one step at a time, but The reality is you've like affected this person on an emotional level where even if they're like very afraid of falling in love, you check off all those boxes, or like the vibe, the chemistry's right between the two of you, that you're the type of person that they could fall in love with and be happy with. And so this is somebody, it feels like, that needs in some sort of way to kind of like take ownership of, or deal with that kind of like wound, that hurt within, that causes them to kind of like push away good things, safe connections, safe people when they're presented with that. And this is somebody that's like very aware of that after whatever happened with your last interaction. So let's get some initials. This could be a first, middle, or last name, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got C, M, Y, T, W, L, B, D, B, and K. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the Fluorite hearts. So let's see, what is the person on your mind thinking about since your last interaction with one another? Okay, we got the Queen of Swords, Six of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles. So with this Ten of Pentacles, I'm hearing you're a keeper. This is definitely somebody that was very satisfied by your last interaction with one another. Maybe even the ways in which you interacted with other people, and they were kind of a witness to that. So this could have been like in a group setting, something that also, if this were just kind of like a one-on-one interaction with one another, this is somebody that really felt like, my friends would absolutely love you. My family would absolutely love you. This is somebody that is, again, kind of like thinking about maybe long-term connection with you, something that, if they were sort of on the fence about things, or just kind of like, yeah, let's just take it as it goes, or, they were kind of just enjoying the moment, they're now thinking in kind of like broader terms about things. There's a side of your personality that was showcased that it feels like has created a level of certainty within, that kind of what you might almost look like as sort of like raw or unrefined qualities about yourself, that these are very endearing for this person. There's something where this person might have almost kind of put you on a little bit of a pedestal, or maybe you were, kind of just like putting the best foot forward as they were. It was kind of like early in the connection, and there's something where they've almost not sort of like seen something that was challenging about you, but something that was more kind of like a deeper layer of yourself that they recognize as kind of like, people have to earn access to that part of you, or it takes a while for you to get maybe like comfortable around people in order for this part of you to sort of like come to the forefront. There may have also been something very unique in the nature, again, of like the latest interaction with you, where maybe you were like talking about something, you were telling this person about certain things. This is somebody who feels like they love your sense of humor, they think you are hilarious, or you're somebody that the way in which you kind of like, you tell a story, you share information, it's almost kind of like, you do so in a fair and balanced way. You do so in a way that like provides clarity and insight, not just about kind of like the details of things, but it's a little peek into kind of like your character, who you are as a person. And this individual, this person on your mind was like, yeah, I want that. I want to align with that. You're a keeper. You're perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. It may be something that in some sort of way kind of like balances more of a hidden, it like complements or balances like a hidden part within themselves, that again, it's sort of like casual acquaintances, co-workers, neighbors, they don't like know the side of this person. This is something that's reserved for kind of like close friends, family members, people they've known long term in like a very sort of tight knit capacity. And this is the type of thing where it's like something that was demonstrated by you, it fits in so perfectly. It's like you fit in with this aspect of them. You fit in with people in their life that know and appreciate and enjoy that kind of like similar side to this person as well. And so again, there's a sense of like you would fit in well with my friend group. You'd fit in well with my family. Like these people would absolutely love you if you haven't like met any of them yet. This is somebody that it feels like since the last interaction, they're like looking forward to the next time they get to see you or talk to you. This might also be somebody that is now kind of like thinking of different sorts of things that they want to share about themselves, different sorts of things they want to like talk to you about or ask you about, not in a way of like inquiring, and sort of like probing for information, but almost something that you've made this person feel very comfortable based on your authenticity, based on this part of you that just kind of like came to the surface or that you kind of like chose to reveal, maybe even a moment that they were sort of like there for, they were a witness to that, something very unplanned, something very spontaneous, something that was just kind of like in the heat of the moment. This is what happened, this is what was showcased. Or something where you were like telling this person about something, and the way in which it wasn't just like relating facts and figures or information, but the way in which you tell a story, you set the stage for that, how you portrayed that information, depicted that information. Maybe it was even around people, like a story about people this person knows, and so they could see what it is you're talking about. They could understand, they could imagine how that went. Or if it was something about people that this person has like never met before, the way in which you did it didn't kind of like make this person think, oh, let me just sort of form this very kind of like sharp opinion of these other people, but it was almost just like a glimpse into your world, into the experience of like what it is to live as as yourself. Maybe this was something where you were like complaining about somebody, or somebody you had to kind of like give a piece of your mind to. You depicted for this person like a time of adversity or struggle. Could have been something very minor. It could even be something that you're very like passionate about, sort of, like this is a cause, or a belief, or kind of a standard that I have, and I feel so strongly about it because of the following reasons. And something in the nature of that, it feels like, showed this person almost like a feisty side of you, or something that's very determined, something that it's like this person feels that you could really hold your own in a debate, in a discussion. You could hold your own in a circumstance around strong personalities. Like this person feels you have a strong personality, which it feels like they're thinking like this will fit in well with people in their life, people that are like close to them, who may be very like different, all of them like very different, but all have very strong personalities. And so whatever was kind of the most recent interaction, again, it's made this person feel like, yeah, I want to build more closeness. I want to continue to invest in this connection. I want to see where this goes. So let's get some message cards from their higher self and see what they want you to know right now. Okay, we have, it's time. I'm ready to tell you the truth. I know you have waited so long to hear it. Yeah, this, again, is somebody that is just like, what you have sort of showcased about your personality, or something that might not have been like, I'm going to choose to reveal this about myself, but it activated based on the circumstance. This is somebody, it feels like, that sees you as kind of this, again, like a strong personality. You're a formidable force within yourself. You know who you are. You speak your truth, even if it's not well received, even if it's goes against the grain in some sort of way. Like you're kind, you're pleasant, but there's also the sense of like you know yourself. And that in some sort of way was kind of like showcased to this person in an exchange that you had, or something that they were kind of just like there when something occurred. And so this is kind of that truth of like, okay, they want to start to sort of speak life into sort of like, how do we move this connection forward? And that idea of like other people, like friends and family, this may be something where it's like this person wants you to meet friends and family. That's like a step forward for them. That's kind of like, here, meet these people. I want these people to meet you. Not just because like I need their opinion, or it's time to kind of take it there, but there's almost a sense that this person very genuinely was like, they're gonna love you, they're gonna think that you're great, they're gonna think that you're great for me, and just you're great as a person in general. So it's something that feels like it very much like impressed this person, whatever the last interaction was. We also have, I could listen to your voice all day and all night, like a lullaby. It is music to my ears and soothes my soul. Yeah, so this person's got reassurance that you're a real one. You're like a real, genuine person. You're real feisty when you need to be, and a real sweetheart when the situation calls for it. And this person loves that. They love that kind of like blend of sort of hot and sweet. It's all wrapped up in this perfect experience of you, something that they've seen that was like, whoa, okay, that just enhanced my attraction to you. What you shared, how you handled something, how you communicated. It might have even been something where you were around like other kind of like strong personalities and you held your own. And that's something that this person's like, yeah, you're a keeper. You're the type of person that it's like, we wouldn't just have sort of like a flimsy connection, but like communication may be very important for this person. It feels like this person's a good communicator. They value that. They value honesty and truth even when it's uncomfortable, amongst friends, amongst families, amongst romance. And whatever has come forth, whatever you've sort of like shown of yourself, or has just sort of like happened in the moment, it has provided this person with some kind of reassurance that it's like, yeah, even if we had difficulties or conflict between the two of us, you're not the type of person that's just gonna like keep tally, keep score, ruminate about that very quietly, and then kind of like give this whole list of grievances further down the road, or get very like passive aggressive about things. Like, you're very direct, you're very honest, and that's something that it feels like this person really respects and values. So they're very excited to like continue the communication, continue the conversations, branch out into other sort of territory as far as that kind of interaction is concerned. And that might even be, again, like meeting friends and family, to start talking to them, to start letting these people kind of like get to know you. We also have, we need to heal ourselves for union. We have an important mission to fulfill here. So this person feels like this love could be something that like fulfills sort of a deep requirement within them, that they've settled for things that were close to that fulfillment, like the almost but not quite experience on more than one occasion. And there's something in terms of this like raw aspect of you, something that's very unrefined, something that's very real, something that is not like you're just performative or putting that best foot forward. That is something which this person is like, I'm needing that in my life. I value that in terms of like people that are very close to me, but this may be somebody that deals with a lot of like performative people, a lot of like superficial people, maybe like professionally speaking, or this is the type of person it feels like that has learned that not everybody that kind of you're interacting with, they're not all a friend. It's like this person knows how to call people, that's my friend, that's my acquaintance, that's my coworker, that's a former classmate. Like they don't just kind of like, that's my buddy, that's my friend. They don't say that about that word about everybody. And so there's something in terms of that recent interaction where it's like you've moved even closer into some kind of like circle of trust with them. Not that they were like testing you in any sort of way, but something that you've like showcased or revealed is kind of like, this person is just, oh yeah, I want to bring you in closer, because you've without knowing it kind of demonstrated the genuine part of yourself that's a little bit hidden, that takes time to kind of like come to the surface. It's not just part of the immediate persona that like somebody meeting you for the first time would be aware of. Like, it is, but it isn't. It's like something deeper than that. This is somebody that feels like you really have character. Like a lot of people just sort of like they pretend to have character and they lack substance as a person. You're not one of those people. If you're like a very direct, honest person, that comes from a place that is very like genuine. This is somebody that feels like if you're direct and honest with others, you're direct and honest with yourself. You're not somebody that makes excuses. You're not somebody that runs from your own reflection or hides from your own shadow or denies that. And so something that has been kind of revealed in a what you see is what you get sort of way about you, that is something which has resonated highly with this person. And so they're like, yeah, I want to bring you in closer. I want to take steps towards you to start to lean into that experience of I want more with you, not just like I want more with you one day or let's see where this goes, but there's like a level of determination now to keep the momentum going, to keep this connection developing between the two of you. So let's get some initials. This could be a first, middle, or last name, or could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got N, T, L, H, Q, H, P, G, S, S, U, and U. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.